Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stella Rose, and today I will be talking about so in a lot of my other videos I've talked about the shadow, how we're releasing it, how we're purging it, a little bit about what it is, what the ego is, what it stands for, and pretty much the energies that are happening right now, which is the shadow coming to the light, to be released, to be purged, to allow space and room for the new and the peaceful, harmonious, loving energies that are coming in, that are assisting us in our ascension journey to the new world, which is a mirror world essentially, or very similar to the world that we've heard of as Lemuria. But this particular video is talking about and diving a little bit deeper into how to navigate your shadow and healing that shadow. Because it's all well and good me talking about it and saying, all right guys, time to heal it, but it's a whole nother thing to actually heal it. Trust me, I know. It's a whole other thing. So the energies that are happening right now will be calling up anything that needs to be healed. Whether that is past trauma, past life trauma, childhood wounds, parental dynamics that are now in your own relationships and connection to yourself and to others, ways that you can speak to yourself, bodily issues, all ways that the shadow, that the unconscious, that the rejected, that the resisted, the painful, the fear, the darker stuff, the alter ego, all of that is coming up right now to be purged and healed and released. And that, for those who haven't really done a lot of shadow work, is going to be quite intense. For those who have, it might be a little bit less so, but there probably will still be some stuff coming up. If not, go you. You're awesome. You've already made it, I guess, to where it is you're wanting to go, because that is the ultimate destination, is that whole oneness. And when I say that, the shadow is not something that we want to reject, we want to push away, that we don't want to love, because the shadow is still a part of us. So what I'm talking about is not healing it and throwing it away. When I say released and purged, I guess that's not quite the right language, because when I say released and purged, what I mean by that is the distortion, is the pain, is the resistance, the suffering. The shadow itself, though, is being integrated back into who we are, to create and to come back to that wholeness that we are. So our destination, and there is no destination because we're constantly learning, expanding and growing, but is to come back to that wholeness. So when we are learning, expanding and growing, we can learn from a place of wholeness and completeness without that pain and the suffering and the fear and the distortion. So right now we're in a distorted world. The energies are distorted. And so that is coming through. Mother Earth is definitely assisting in that. Energies that are coming in from other places, from planets, from codes, which I'm really excited to talk to you guys about. And I will absolutely be making another video after this about codes, because my goodness, when I talk about codes, they are in everything. That's another video, but codes that are coming in through energies that are assisting us in this process, this purging, this releasing, this healing. And these energies are they're bringing things to the light, but we are the ones that have to actually do the work. Bring it up so that we can see it. And thankfully the energy that's coming is very assisting. And so what it does is, if you are willing to, it will help you to move through it quickly by perceiving it from a place of love and compassion. Very fast, very, very fast. But the resistance, it's the same story. If you resist it, it's just going to get harder and harder. And just like the speed of healing is quicker, the speed of suffering will be increased as well. So it is very important to recognize that if you are feeling something, and you will be feeling something of the shadow, the things that are coming up, they're coming up to be healed, and you are capable of healing them. But by resisting them, they're only going to get worse and worse. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now, we've said this for a very, very long time, for decades. We've said healing is a process, it's a timeline, it's a journey, and yes, it is. But now is the time for that journey to be sped up. Now, that's not to say that you can't still go at your own pace, because by naturally allowing things to happen, you are naturally going at your own pace. But your own pace may seem a little bit faster than what you're used to. Things may start falling away and crumbling and getting a little bit harder than what you're used to, because it's happening faster. But like I said, that means that the healing is happening faster. So just by approaching this with love, the solutions are much, much, much more available to us, because just like the shadow is coming to the surface, the healing is coming to the surface. The awareness, the information, the intelligence, the wisdom that we need in order to heal these things are also coming to the surface. We're not given something. The earth does not provide us. The universe does not provide something without a solution. So for example, if there's like a poison, there's always an antidote. I always get those two words confused, but the thing that stops that poison. It's just how the universe works. It's how our world works. It's how the universe works. So this stuff that's coming in, there is a solution, and that solution is being shown just as much as the shadow is. We just need to be open and are willing to see it. Now, that's what this video is about. The fact that not everybody knows what to look for. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the physical body. The physical body will be an amazing telltale for the things that need healing. For example, if you notice that you have random pains in certain areas of your body, or if you notice that you are feeling quite unwell, or if you notice that you are losing a lot of weight, whatever it is that your body is telling you that doesn't feel good, now is the time to talk to it. Now is the time to ask it, what is it trying to tell you? Where is the pain located? Is it located in your chest? If so, does that mean that there is something to do with heart healing that needs to occur? If so, can you speak to it? What is it? Because it will tell you. By being open to receiving, you will receive. Now, I know that might sound a little bit woo-woo, but why would... Just if we look at anything else in the world, any kind of animal, their natural instincts always know best for what they need. They just naturally know. We're the only animals that are disconnected from our body. So, of course, it may seem unrealistic, but our body is just this incredible, intel of data that can just tell us exactly what we need, if we're just willing to listen to it. So the first and foremost thing is, what is our body telling us? What does our body need? Does it need more exercise? Does it need more sleep? Does it need more food? Does it need less food? Does it need a different kind of food? Does it need more sunshine? Does it need more water? What is your body telling you? Listen to that, because that will really help you to find and pinpoint the points of pain emotionally, because your body is not just physical. It is emotional, it is mental, it is spiritual, it is energetic. And so by listening to that, you are tapping into all of these different bodies. The emotional body, the mental body, the physical body, the spiritual body, soul body, the energetic body. So listening to your body is a very, 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 very important thing to do. Very important. So if we were to look at the symbol of the triangle, we have three main things. We've got the body, the heart, and the soul. We've got love, the body, the mind, and the soul. We can't have one without the other. We need all three. So our body is connected to our mind, which is connected to our soul. If our mind is unwell, our soul and our body will also be unwell. If our soul is unwell, our body and our mind will also be unwell. They are interconnected. You cannot have one without the other two. I don't know why the triangle just came through, but that's why what I wanted to say. Think of the triangle. When you're thinking of your body, think of everything. There is a reason why so many spiritual places are pyramids. There is a reason why the triangle is so powerful. So anyway, coming away from the triangle, just remember that your body, your mind, and your soul are interconnected. They are woven together. They work together. You cannot have one without the other. Well, you can, but not on planet Earth. So if our body is saying that something is wrong, then our mind and our soul and our emotions and all the other things are also saying that something is wrong. So that's the first step. Well, not the first step because there's no order, but that's one of the very first things that I wanted to talk about. Another thing is breathing, which comes into the body, which is this concept that we breathe. A lot of us are breathing. We're not actually breathing into our body, and breath is life force. Breath is what allows us to breathe it in and let it go. It fills us up, and then we release everything that's not serving us. We breathe in the energy that we need, and we release the energy that we don't, which then feeds the other things that then feed us through more breath, like the trees. And so breathing is so important, and we do not talk about this enough. But by breathing into your diaphragm, into your belly, fully down, and this will take a while for those who don't do this, by doing that, you are breathing in more of what you need, and therefore that awareness and that clarity and that alignment with your body and what your body needs will become more clear because you are breathing yourself back to yourself. So breath is very important. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that our shadow, which I talked about at the beginning, is not something that we want to reject. The shadow is simply that which is not seen. It is the unconscious aspects of ourselves that we have not allowed ourselves to be seen. And through there being that unseenness, the unconsciousness, there is rejection. Through rejection, the energies become distorted, and then they project themselves as something that we don't like. For example, let's say, actually no, forget that. So what I mean by this, and what can help you to see your shadow, I'm sorry if this video I'm really trying to keep this video flowing. I'm really trying to have this video so that it has a structure, but all these messages are just flooding in at once. So I'm just trying to work out how to word this because I'm already wanting to talk about the next topic, but I need to stay here for a minute. Yeah, so the shadow, which is unconscious, it is simply that which has not been seen. So by allowing ourselves to see it, initially it might be a little painful and a little bit confronting, or a lot, because it hasn't been seen. And we've been conditioned to believe that that which is not seen is not worthy. That which does not meet a certain criteria is not worthy. And so everything that is outside of that, which has been rejected and therefore changed, sort of reflected and projected as something that is negative, perceived as negative, and actually can be negative because it became distorted, and therefore those energies can be harmful, genuinely harmful. It's very likely that you have harmed somebody. I've harmed somebody. We've all been harmful towards somebody, and we've all been harmed by somebody. So the point is not dwelling on that and those parts of us that we find to be bad, but recognizing that that came from a place of distortion, and that distortion can be healed through being seen and acknowledged and recognized, because it is no longer in the shadow. It no longer needs to hide. It's no longer being rejected and resisted. So we see it for what it truly is. It no longer shows itself as distorted. And then it can simply be integrated as another aspect of yourself. Because now that it's no longer distorted, it's no longer harmful. And that brings me to my next point, which wanted to jump out a little bit prematurely. And that is that the way to see our shadow is through everything around us. Everything. The people, the places, the environment, the things that are happening in our lives, the events. If we find that there is something going on in our life that does not make us happy, that is a subconscious energy that you are putting out there that is attracting that in, because we cannot attract things that we are not vibrating at that frequency of. It is not possible. Energy attracts like energy. If there is nothing to attract it, it will not come in. Now that's a very confronting concept, but it's true. I can't remember, I think it's Ayurvedic. There's a very old saying that goes, you are what you see. And it's probably one of the most triggering sayings that you can tell somebody, because what if they see a lot of negative things? They may hear that and go, am I all of those negative things? But that is not what that saying means. What that saying means is that everything around you reflects the energy that you are putting out into the world, that you are vibrating at currently. And the more stuff that is in the subconscious, the more stuff that is hidden, pushed away, distorted, the more unpleasant things that you will be calling in. That is not a reflection of who your soul is. That is not a reflection of your character, of who your true being. It is simply a reflection of the shadow that is not being seen. So in order to see your shadow, you need to see what's happening around you. Let's say you're calling in, you seem to have this really unpleasant concept where every person that you call in romantically, you always seem to fall for the wrong people. Maybe because you're calling in the wrong people, the people that are going to satisfy this need to be loved. But when you are exploring that outside of yourself, wanting to be loved, because let's say you have a childhood wound that caused you to feel unloved as a child, and then you didn't understand and you were not taught that you can give that love to yourself, so you continuously seek it outside of yourself. So then these people come in and they take advantage of you, because the love that you simply want, you will take from anybody. And so people that do not serve you will come in and you will connect to that, because they are just as wounded as you are, because we attract like energy. So those people that you want to love you, if you are wounded, you are simply calling in more wounded souls. That's a very confronting thing. I know. I had to confront that as well, and do it in your whatever works for you. But regardless of what you believe or what you want to believe, regardless of how triggered this video makes you, please, if it makes you triggered, ask yourself why. Because triggers are messages. They are messages telling you the things that you need to heal. When you are triggered by something, that is because there is something you are emotionally attached to that is distorted. For example, what I'm saying right now, if you feel like a victim, if you feel like the people that you are calling in or the places that you are not serving you, and there is nothing you can do about it, and you feel powerless and you feel like a victim, you're not gonna like hearing me say you're doing it. And when I say that, I'm not in any way blaming. It is not about blame, and that story has got to go. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing that in order to heal this shadow which is actually so incredibly beautiful when you integrate it, when you see it and recognize that this shadow is probably a wounded child, this shadow is probably just this desire to be loved, to be enough, to be wanted, to feel valued, to feel at home, to feel safe. When you realize that, and then you're able to give that love and integrate that, and hey, look at that, all of a sudden I'm so much better at boundaries because I've integrated that aspect of me. Or look at that, I'm able to call in monetary abundance because I've integrated that fear of lack of money into myself and recognize that I am innately abundant. When you are able to do that, the shadow is beautiful. It is beautiful. So there is nothing to fear when integrating this shadow, when healing this shadow. The stuff that comes up might be scary, confronting, triggering. I have no doubt in my mind that people are going to be triggered by this video. I would have been at one point in my life. I would have been so triggered by this video. Like, how dare you say to me that I'm doing it? But the truth is, what you see is a reflection of you. Now, that being said, if somebody turned around and said, you are this, that is not a reflection of you, that is a projection of them. So what you perceive is a reflection of you, but what others perceive you to be is a projection of them. Do not get that confused. Nobody else can define you. You know you. And the world reflects that, not to punish you, but to guide you, so that you are able to move to that place where your inner world being reflected in your outer world is peace, is harmony, is love, is abundance, is completion, is connection, is beauty. All the things that we innately as human beings, as spiritual beings having that human experience, want. We all want that. We all desire that, and we all deserve that. It is our divine right to be that, to be loved, to be appreciated, to love ourselves, to understand who we are, to be full in ourselves, to be whole. So even though the stuff around us might be, hello, sorry, there's a bird that I've never seen before. The stuff around us might be confronting and triggering, is because it's telling us the things that are in here. So when I talk about shadow work, when I talk about things that are coming up right now to be purged, take a look around you. Take a look at your body. What is your body telling you? What are the people in your life, that your surroundings, what are they telling you? What do you like? What do you want more of? Call more of that in. What doesn't serve you? Look at that. Why is that still here? How are you still attracting that energy? Where is that within you? What is that trying to tell you? Journal, write it down, help whatever it is that processes, dance, sing, create. Creating is this incredible way to express your true self, your emotions, to process things. Find healthy ways to express yourself, because a huge aspect of the shadow is the unconscious stuff. So when you bring it to the conscious, it's going to want to come out. Let's say that you've been holding on to this anger for 30 years and you haven't been able to express it. And so you've been projecting that and calling in angry people who don't treat you right. And then all of a sudden, wait, I'm angry, and it's there and it's not going to go away. So I need to release it. It's not just going to dissipate. I have to express it. Emotion is energy in motion. When we stop that motion, we are holding on to energy that is not meant to be there. Just like when we breathe out again. We're not supposed to hold on to that stuff. So once you realize the shadow, you're going to need to express it. So find healthy ways to do that. When we don't express it in a healthy way, it can come out when we don't want it to. That's when people can get harmed. That's when we can harm ourselves. So find a way. Break plates. Go scream, not at a mountain, but in the mountains. Just go and scream or scribble all over some drawing. Like, don't vandalize, but You see what I mean? It's healthy expression, finding that balance. It's okay to feel. It is okay to feel. It is okay to be hurt. It is okay to have these wounds, to have the shadow, to have these triggers. It's now working through that, recognizing that these triggers, that these shadows, they are not there to hurt us. They are not there to harm us, to punish us. We are not powerless. They are there to be seen because they are simply the unconscious. They are there to be integrated, to be honored, to be valued, to be loved just as much as you love the stuff that you know, the stuff that everybody else likes, that you've been told to like. Now it's time to like the stuff that people say you don't like, because you deserve to like all of you. You deserve to integrate all of you, and they don't actually know. They are projecting that. If somebody says to you, this part of you is not worthy, this part of you, I don't like this part of you, this part of you needs to change, that's their stuff. That is something that they believe about themselves, that they are projecting onto you because they don't know how to see it in themselves. So if you find yourself saying to somebody, that needs to change, turn that finger back around. What needs to change? What is it that you are seeing in yourself, therefore seeing in other people, that needs to change? That makes you unhappy. Whew. So yeah. Shadow work is not an easy thing, but the energy that is coming in right now is coming in to bring it up to the surface, to bring it right up there so that it can be seen, honored, loved, celebrated for what it truly is. It's tired of being seen. You must be, like, we are so tired. I am so tired of seeing my shadow as negative. The shadow doesn't want to be seen as that. That is a distorted energy. It just wants to be seen, just as you want to be seen. Your shadow are just the parts of you that are not seen, that want to be seen, that become distorted by not being seen, that by being stifled, by being suppressed, by being repressed. So all it wants to do is be seen. And now that's not, because the physical is already reflecting your inner environment, that might not be easy. Because all of a sudden you might start seeing stuff, and then all of a sudden heaps of your friends that you've been friends with for years are not serving you anymore. But that's not their fault, that's not your fault, that's not a bad thing. That's just what happens when your frequency changes. The things around you fall away to make room for things that resonate and serve you. And it's important not to project or blame or judge others for their journey. Everybody's on their own journey. Just focus on you and your journey. I'm pointing at me because that's what I'm trying to say. You and your journey. See, that feels really weird. Focus on you and your journey. Focus on you and the things that need healing within you. The things that you are perceiving. It's nothing to do with anybody else. Absolutely nothing. They are simply a mirror. They are just helping you to see what's already within. So yeah, this shadow work that's coming up, is time to start taking accountability, taking responsibility for who you are. Like, if you want to be happy, then it's time to start creating that happiness by healing those wounds and acknowledging those parts of you that desperately want to be acknowledged and loved, and giving it through a place of compassion. This is in no way, all of this is about giving yourself compassion and love and acceptance and celebrating who you are, your shadow and all. So the energy that's coming in right now is helping you to see that, to heal that, see yourself, and come into wholeness with yourself. And that's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. So anyway, here's a very confronting video around shadow work, but it needs to be said. You can shoot the messenger if you want, but it needs to be said because it's true. It's how the planet works, by reflecting ourselves in everything that we see. You're beautiful. You are so worthy. Regardless of what you've done, where you have come from, what has been done to you, you are so worthy. So incredibly worthy. Each one of us is worthy of love, of acceptance. Don't know if that's a word. It is, but it's the wrong word. Acceptance, of affection, of appreciation, of celebration, of joy, of happiness. We are all worthy of that. You are worthy of that. Regardless of what you have done, where you come from, any of that. And the second that you realize that, everything else just falls away. The stuff that you've done, it came from a distorted place. Taking accountability and then forgiving yourself is all that you need to let that go. To let that go and then see where it came from. And then to confront that and then to accept it and integrate it. To give it love and compassion. Yeah. Alright. Thank you so much for watching. My goodness, I was channeling a lot of messages and they came through so fast. So I do hope that this was delivered with love. Well, it was delivered with love, but I do hope that as much as it probably wasn't an easy pill to swallow, I was able to get what I was trying to get across, which I do think I was. Anyway, now that I've sort of cut off that channel, it's quite difficult to form words. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video resonates in whatever way that serves you and brings clarity and insight and some guidance in this healing journey that we are all as a collective taking part in. And the next video that I will put out will be a little bit different, a little bit lighter, because while there's the shadow work and there is shadow involved, it can also be really beautiful. And yeah, I'm sending you so much love, so much love, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and also click the bell button if you want to keep updated. Share this video if it resonates. The more people that hear this message, the better. Not that I'm the only one that can deliver it, but yeah. We're all capable of this awareness. Alright. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love.